You walk into a room and completely forget why you're there. You're in the middle of a sentence and the words just seem to vanish. You're searching for your sunglasses and you eventually find them on the top of your head. Now, we joke about mom brain, but for some women, it really stops being funny and starts being a little scary. I want to be really honest with you. Even with all of my medical training, I have been right where you are. I remember standing in my kitchen, feeling a total blankness where my sharp, quick thinking used to be. It is incredibly frustrating and sometimes terrifying to feel like your brain is betraying you. It feels so real that women are convinced something is structurally wrong. I actually had a patient sit in my office recently, and she was terrified. She told me she had already scheduled a full workup with a neurologist because she was absolutely convinced she had early onset dementia. I told her what I'm going to tell you. You are not crazy, and you likely don't need a neurologist. And you definitely are not alone. My name is Tina Jacobs. I'm a PA and founder of Silk Life Medical. I've been optimizing women's health outside of the constraints of insurance for over 10 years, and I've helped over 1,000 women find relief. But more importantly, I'm a woman who has experienced this herself and came out the other side. What you are experiencing is a very real, very physical drop in neuroprotection caused by falling hormones. Your brain isn't broken. It is just starving for fuel. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to feed it again. So what's actually happening? Why does the brain fog hit so hard in perimenopause? Here's the science your doctor probably didn't explain. Your brain is packed with estrogen receptors. Estrogen isn't just about reproduction. It is a master regulator of energy in the brain. It pushes glucose or sugar into your brain cells so they can burn it for fuel. When your estrogen levels start to fluctuate and drop in your 40s, that fuel line is crimped. Your brain cells literally have less energy to work with. That blank feeling, that is a temporary energy crisis in your neurons. Now, Dr. Lisa Mosconi, a neuroscientist, has done the brain scans that show this. The brains of perimenopausal and menopausal women are very different. They have lower energy metabolism. That is why you feel tired, foggy, and slow. It's not a character flaw, it's biology. Now, I mentioned estrogen is the fuel. But for optimal function, your brain actually relies on a trifecta of hormones. When any of these drops, you can feel it in a different way. Let's break down exactly what each one does for your mental state. First, estrogen. We talked about energy, but estrogen is responsible for synaptic plasticity. What is that? Think of your brain like a dense forest of electrical wires. Estrogen is that fertilizer that keeps those connections growing and snapping together quickly. When estrogen drops, the connections slow down. This is why you lose your words. The file is in the cabinet, but the path is too overgrown to get there. Next is testosterone. Women and their doctors often forget about this one, but it is crucial. In the brain, testosterone drives confidence, decisiveness, and spatial memory. When your testosterone bottoms out, you don't just feel foggy, you feel anxious and hesitant. You might find yourself second-guessing decisions that you used to make in your sleep. It's that loss of mojo or drive that makes you feel like a shadow of yourself when you've lost it. Finally, progesterone. This is nature's natural Valium. In the brain, progesterone converts to a neurosteroid called allopregnanolone, which hits the exact same receptors in the brain that anti-anxiety meds do. This is why many women end up getting prescribed psych meds instead of having their hormone levels checked. When progesterone plummets, which is usually the first thing to happen in perimenopause in your early 40s, you lose that buffer. The brain fog here feels more like wired and tired. You can't focus because your brain just won't settle down. So when I treat a patient, I'm not just looking for, is it menopause, perimenopause? I'm looking at that specific mix. Are you losing your words? That's likely estrogen. Are you anxious and hesitant? That could be testosterone. Are you wired and unable to sleep? Probably progesterone. We have to treat the specific deficiency to clear the brain fog. So if you remember nothing else from this video, please remember this. You are not broken. You are not losing it. You haven't gone crazy, and you almost certainly do not have early onset dementia. You are simply running on empty tanks. And just like a car doesn't run without gas, your brain cannot fire in all cylinders without these hormones. You don't have to replenish them, but you'll be at a huge disadvantage without them. The beautiful thing, and I see it every day in my practice, is that when we restore these levels, the lights come back on. The fog lifts, the words come back, you start feeling like that sharp, capable woman you were 5 or 10 years ago. But you have to get a test. You don't want to just guess on these things. You need a provider who looks at all 3 of these hormones and the biomarkers impacting them, not just your FSH. Once we identify which part of the trifecta is missing, we can fix it. And usually we can fix it pretty fast. If you found yourself sitting in the car crying because you can't remember where you were going, or rereading the same email 3 times because the words just won't stick, please hear me. This is not your fault. You do not have to live like this. In future videos, we're going to talk about exactly what testing you need, what a good treatment plan actually looks like, and how to advocate for yourself when your provider dismisses you. If this resonates with you, hit subscribe so you don't miss these videos. And if you know a friend who keeps joking about mom brain, but she's also a little bit scared, send her this. She deserves to know this might be perimenopause and that there is a path out. You're not crazy, you are not alone, and with the right support, you absolutely can feel sharp and clear again. I'm Tina Jacobs, this is Menopause Like a Boss, and I will see you in the next video.